So last time what we have discussed is how to create a portal like portal.azure.com, and how we need to create the SQL server, how we can connect, and what are the system databases that been there, and what are the system databases that will be visible, and what are the purchasing models, that is what is DTU and EDTU, that the and what that is what we are all discussed here. So may I know how many of you already have registered that portal.azure.com? Is anyone have facing any issues? No, right? I hope everyone has created a portal.azure.com. Can anyone confirm, please? Okay, thank you. Okay, first we will check the this thing, Azure data connectivity. So for example, in real time, how we can, everything is managed by the Microsoft data centers only, right? So here what else, we have very limited set of troubleshooting that steps that we need to perform. Like for example, I will show you. To troubleshoot any connectivity issues to Azure SQL database, we have one PowerShell script that we used to call it as a Azure uh, SQL database connectivity checker. Okay, so this is written by the Victor, which is working for the product Microsoft team. Okay, now so this is the checker. Okay, you either you can download the script, or otherwise you can copy the script here. Once you copy the script here, okay, now just go to the PowerShell, not this one, ISV window is good. ISV means integrated PowerShell. Okay, so where we have an options if you paste, everything will be like how we have copied, the same way it will get copied here. Now where I need to do modifications. Okay, this here in the server place, for example, here I am doing test demo 07. Okay, and you have to mention the username and password here. Okay, so if you do that, so I will do that some like Harsha. So default here master database. If you want directly connecting to the master database, no need to mention anything. If you are specifically you are trying to connect one database, then you have to mention those database name here. Now password I am okay. So this is how you need to do modify. You have to provide the credentials and you have to execute. Now what it is doing, it is trying to download the script and from the GitHub, and it is pasting the logs here, and it will check that what it will do that and everything. Okay, so it will for that what we need to do here is we need to what we need to sure check for Azure connectivity architecture in real time. They will ask you, Arsha, please go explain what is Azure SQL database architecture. As of now, what we have seen here is SQL Server architecture only. That is how we know. But in the interviews, they might ask you Azure SQL database connectivity. This is the connectivity architecture. Okay, so here we have a diagram. Here this is the laptop proxy. Okay, it is my home machine, my home laptop. It is the gateways, Microsoft gateways, and it is the background clusters which is in there in Microsoft data centers. So first time I am connecting to the SQL server. Every connection will go to the gateway. First, it will go to the gateway, and then once it is get authenticated, then it will go to the respective database. Okay, when my connection policy is a proxy. So here we have two policies are there, connection policies. Okay, one is redirect, one is proxy. Okay, what is meant by default, I will let you know. So here proxy means each and every connection will go to the gateway only first. Due to this behavior, like every connection will be only slow. So why we need this kind of mechanism means where we have sensitive data, and each time the every packet has to be authenticated. So that at that, if you have that kind of scenarios and latency also is okay for you, at that time only you have to select the proxy. Otherwise, the second connection architecture what we have is redirect. First, when you are trying to connect to database, first it will go to the gateway and it will go to the respective node. Next time, once the connection is established, okay, then no need to go with the directly it will connect from your home laptop to node. Okay, see, these are the two connection policies that we have. And what is mean by default here? If you are connecting, if your connection policy is default, if you are, it will check whether this person is connecting from on-prem, connecting from Azure resource or not. If it is Azure resource, then it will use redirect policy. If you are connecting non-Azure resource like from your home laptop or like everything, then it uses the proxy. So it will modify from where you are connecting. So this is what like you have to set in the interview. Like, so now we have seen this thing, right? What it will do, everything, okay, it will check the ports enable or not. If you use the proxy, it will use 1433 port. Either if it is 1433 port is blocked, okay, then you are, even though you are entering the right password, right username and everything, the connection will get failed. Okay, now you are using connection policy and these ports are got blocked. Then your connections will get failed. Sometimes customers will reply that, Harsha, I am able to connect from Azure machine, but I am unable to connect from my home laptop. What could be the? Could you please check that? Okay, now, so if it is a single port, we can use simply hyphen we can use simply test hyphen net connection, okay, hyphen port 80. So we can sorry, port 1433. So using this port, we can directly check that whether the port is blocked or not. But if, so now what we are seeing here is we want to check from 11,000 to 11,999. Is it possible to check? SQL Server will use any one of these ports. Okay, if you use redirect connection policy. So it is not possible to check each and every port, whether it is we don't know which port is using the, like at that time, right? So now this script will randomly check each whether these ports are blocked or you are having any connectivity issues. Okay, this will script will check on everything. Okay, now it is saying that, see, now 1433 port is now I'm unable to connect here. See, this is how you need to check whether these ports are working or not. Okay, so now I have done that. I have executed the scripts. Where this result got stored here is here, we here all zip files with has been found here. Now you just copy up to here, up to copy here, open notepad. Okay, you can remove this the line, otherwise it will open in zip. Run command, paste it here, click OK. So here you will like these are all the test results. Okay, and for example, if you open this log, it will show that either what is the issues and everything, like login was failure, disconnect initiated and everything. Okay, now you have done and collected everything, log and everything, right? But you are unable to like identify what exactly issues. So now you want to work with Microsoft. If any basic troubleshooting was done and you are still facing issues, then you have to work with the Microsoft people. And what the Microsoft people will do, the same, first they will ask you to provide these logs. Okay, if they are like how we need to chip, we need to like send this like this, and you need to first when you are going, when you raise a ticket to with Microsoft people, they will give one link. In that link we have to upload this log file, they will analyze and they will like, Asha, you have done this step and you are facing issue, you have do like that. They will provide recommendations. How they will provide the recommendations? If here it will see here. So this is how. So here we have one customer. He is unable to create new databases. So what at the end of it was resolved by customer itself. Okay, and after few times by its own the issue got resolved. So here issues can be resolved by ourselves and Microsoft, of combination of both. Now here if you see here, and now SQL Server and managed exceptions. So this is how, like I will send this folder, okay, this resolution dump file for you. You just upload this file and you just go through that all the like my like issues. Okay, if you want more familiar what kind of issues that Microsoft will deal that. Okay, so this is how you need to work with the Microsoft people, and this is how you need to use Azure SQL database connectivity. Okay, now I will open my SSMS. So now this is the interview question. What is the connectivity architecture? So now how we need to say that, like now in the interview they might also ask you, Harsha, and sometimes what will happen, right? So you don't have an access for your portal, but you had an access for your SQL server only. At that time you got a doubt, or a customer might ask you that, like, Harsha, where the SQL server was deployed. So at that time, so you don't have an access, right, to the portal. We can use the ping command test demo 07 dot database dot windows dot net. So I got a reply from East US region. So here I am having East US one, right? Still still I want confirmation. You just copy 3 digits and come here and use Control F and paste it here. Now it is using East US region. Okay, so now you can say that your SQL server was deployed in East US region. This is like gateways. So what we have discussed here is here like three gateways, right? So these are the gateways. Depending upon the traffic and Microsoft is going to increase the gateways. So this is what the connectivity architecture, where we can see the connection policies and everything. Okay, now I will show you. Come here, go to the SQL server. Now here networking, come here connectivity. See, now here we are seeing that, see, by default, when default uses redirect policy for all client connections originating from inside of Azure. Okay, and proxy means outside of the Azure. So by default, as a database administrator, the one of the best practice is you need to configure redirect and you need to click the saves. Okay, so this is how where we need to change the redirect connection policies in the portal. Okay, now we after that we will explore all the options one by one. So now where we are in, once we go to the home, I click on Azure SQL. See, here we will see all the servers and as well as databases. So now I am clicking the resource server. Now see, whenever you are doing anything, you just see the down description here. Now I am doing the things on SQL server only. If I go with the databases and I click here, now I am doing the things on the SQL database. This is the thing. Whenever you do anything, like, okay, you have to check this first. Okay, to that idea what I am doing, where I am doing here. Okay, now go to the SQL server. This right now what you are seeing is the overview pane. In the overview, like you can see here where your server is hosted in the Harsha test resource group. What is the server admin that you have created, that is Arsha. Either SQL server is available or not, either it is restoring state or it is pending, starting, everything you can see here. And this is the network settings. It is located in the USTS. This is subscription ID and this is FQDN name. Okay, and this is like few notifications and futures we will see in the next upcoming sessions. Like right now what you are seeing is create database. Using this database you can create the databases like how we used to create yesterday. Now this is the new elastic pool. We will see in the next classes what is meant by elastic pool. This is like new SQL formal. This is called Azure Synapse databases. If you click the here, now you can see that this database previously we don't work all of these databases are dedicatedly for SSI admins or SSIS Synapse Analytics. Now for that I will show you the difference. Okay, Arsha, pool. I'm just selecting the performance and see, right, per 1 hour the database it is costing for like 125. For the for what purpose we are doing this for Azure Synapse Analytics. It is not our database. Okay, first to know the differences, for that purpose I am showing you how it looks like. So here I will show you what it is. I'm just duplicating the tab. See, this is how it looks like. See, common like see now this is now normal databases, but this is data warehouse databases. That's how we can see these icons different. Okay, so we have like Synapse Analytics. We have different kind of tables like star schema, like another schemas that's different. So these are databases, but only designed for the we need database engine, but everything utilized by the Synapse Analytics engine only. Okay, now if I click here and I just it got deployed. Okay, that's okay, it's still deploying. Now I'm going. Now elastic pool, for example, if you want to import a database, I will show you in upcoming classes. Okay, like the backpack pulse, or if you have stories any backups and you want to create any databases, you can use this option, import option. Okay, and if you want to reset the password for Arsha, you can reset password here. Okay, if you want to move this resource to the another resource group, you can move. If you want to move another subscription, you can move. Or if you want to delete, or you can delete. This feedback is normal option. There no this nothing is going to work here. Okay, now coming to activity log. For our SQL server, from on-prem SQL server, if what is going on, what is the backups and everything, it will recorded by the activity log, right? So here we have that kind of similar option is called activity log. Whatever you do on the portal, all these right will be recorded in the activity log. But please remind that once I'm saying whatever you do on the portal changes only it will get recorded, not you if what are the changes if you do here. Okay, either you if you drop a database, it will not get recorded. Whatever you do here using the portal, those changes only will get recorded here. Okay, now you can down export or you can download and you can filter all these changes. Now coming to access management control. Like for example, as I'm a DBA, I'm able to work on everything. But if you want to give the access to the SQL server using portal, then we have an option called access control method, which we usually call as a AMP page, or otherwise we can call it as a role based access control. Now if you click here, click as add whatever role you want, add a role and an assignment here. Generally we call it as a contributor. Now I don't want job function roles, I want to give contribute. See now what the contributor will do, he will connect to the portal. In the portal he will connect to this SQL server, but he can do anything, but he cannot grant the same permission to others. This is what contributor does. Select the members and like something. Okay, I don't want to select these names. Okay, now you can select the members and click proceed to next. So this is how you need to grant the permission to your colleagues. Tags. What the tags means here is, tags are just naming purpose only. Other see it is a SQL server. As of now we can know it's as a database administrator we clear cut, but these are things they don't know by other team members, right? For that purpose we are tagging that this is the SQL server resource. What is that SQL server is a production. So this is how you can name, so that others persons also will identify. But therefore just for naming convenience identification, but apart from that there is no much value for that. Click start. For example, if you want to learn how to connect the database and everything, you can go through the each and every document just like help books. And diagnostic and solve problems. For example, you are having issues before, here we have some default issues are there. For example, if you are having trouble connectivity issues, you just go here and identify like either you are having backup restore issue, connectivity issue, and what the connection errors. You just troubleshoot here. Click on troubleshoot. Select the problem here, drop connections or drop login fail. So select the options here like one by one. Now it will asking that. So what it will do here is, okay, it will analyze in the, if it will analyze sorry, it will analyze and it will run some mechanism. It will run the Azure data analytics, some in the backend it will run everything reports and it will list the problem here. Okay, so it will list out all the problem possible solutions. I cannot say that this is like give the perfect answer. It will give some hints, either that is meaningful or not doesn't meaningful that. So right now they are unable to run at this time. Okay, why? Because of time frame. So if you are unable to resolve, it will, if your issue doesn't fall in this category, or this, if these diagnostics cannot run, then no worries, we have support center. Now here we can click create a support request. See, this is how you need to contact Microsoft. Click next. So it will before raising a ticket, it will list you the possible times and everything. Okay, so again it will select the authentication. So we are there, this is not helpful for you. So once you done that, whenever the ticket got created in the Azure data support, these analytics will get ready for the Microsoft engineer. Okay, now click next. Now it is asking for that. Okay, now view plans. For example, I worked as a Microsoft support engineer. So then I came to know how these guys are works and everything, right? So we have three plans. Okay, like basic, for basic means we can raise a free tickets for Microsoft regarding billing and subscription issues. Okay, but technically if you want any issues, then these are the developer, standard and professional. If you see here, $29 comes under like almost 2500 something like that. $100 comes under like say around 7 to 8,000. $1,000 will comes under like almost like one near to 1 lakh. Okay, this is severity C, severity B, and severity A as well. This one CRTA, for every 2 hours they will give the one for every 1 hour. If it is very critical and you mention as a CRTA, then for every 1 hour they will update the status. Okay, so this is depending upon the issue. For example, after this class, okay, you got an idea of Azure SQL database servers and everything, right? So what you need to do, you done the homework and you had an issues, and suddenly you might fall the issues, and after the some googling or like YouTube watching you, but still you are unable to resolve the issue. Then you can write the CRTC ticket, and you can, they guys will comes into picture. Okay, then they will help you, and you and Microsoft people will commonly go in the calls and troubleshoot the issues accordingly. Why? Because they don't touch everything, they will manage. Arsha, click on this support and click on this, you should go like this. They will guide us, but they will don't touch. Why? Because Microsoft had some serious issues by the, if anything goes wrong, they will blame Microsoft only, because you guys are touched as the micro our code, that's the reason it got failed. So Microsoft has failed, faced this kind of questions, that's the reason they don't touch anything, they will help you. Okay, so now it's all up to you guys. Okay, now you can go with the develop, not only please remind the here, remember that if you raise a ticket for you, it is doesn't mean that you are purchasing a ticket for Azure SQL only. For all Azure services you can raise unlimited tickets. For example, if you want to learn Azure function app, you can raise a ticket that I want to work with like write a concern, and they will come and they will help. Okay, but CV at minimum 8 hours is required. So this is how you need to raise a ticket and raise the issues with the Microsoft team. Now previously it is called Azure Active Directory, now they named that as a Azure Entry ID. For example, once all users are connected, we don't require to use SQL authentication, right? Like you set admin, click on set admin, like here, just select the user, select OK, now save. Now what will happen? Now this person has become user, like sysadmin privileges, okay, for this SQL server. Now what I now here, if you want to see here, okay, now this person has become super. What about other users? Now what we need to do here is come to home, click Active Directory. Here we have a groups. Okay, now you need to create a group like security. Now you can name, and you can add the all the persons here. Now after adding those persons, all the persons come here, and you can click here, and you can add that like that you group, so that every person who are there in that group will become as sysadmins. So this question, they were, I'm having certain users, okay, I want to add them all of users to the as sysadmin. This is now for that you have to create a security group in Azure Active Directory. Okay, so who like where you want to create that everything. Okay, like who are dealing Azure at Azure directory, you just drop an email for them, or like this is like internal architecture of your organization. Okay, now once you bring all the users one that security group, and you can add that security group here. Okay, Now coming to SQL databases. So whatever databases that you have created under this SQL server comes under all of these. Here we have a basic, generation 2 and basic. Right now I am having three databases. And this elastic pool we will see tomorrow. Coming to DTU, you know that like in the yesterday also we have seen SQL server logical server limits. In that what we have seen 54,000 DTUs. So what about 9110? We have three databases, right? Three databases as of now currently they are utilizing 910 DTUs they are currently utilizing. Okay, once it is reached 54,000, then we cannot create that more databases in this SQL server, or it will using 9 cores as well. Okay, so whatever 54,000 or like 400 cores, whatever it comes first. Okay, now coming to properties. See, this is like whatever we have seen in the overview pane only. Coming to logs. Here we kind of, for example, as system administrator, as a DBA, we will do and come. But unfortunately, some guys will be there who are doing the production, like testing and like pro transferring in like anything. So what they will do, unknowingly, they will select this SQL Server resource group. They will start delete. So what will happen? Enter resource, enter database will lost, server will lost. Okay. So Microsoft has done, if you delete the SQL Server, we cannot do anything. If you delete the databases up to 7 days, we can recover or you can recover. But coming to server, they don't recover until unless you provide valid reason, and that reason should belongs to money only. Okay. Now what I to avoid that kind of situations, now I can lock here. Click add, lock name, delete or like anything, delete, click OK. Now click refresh. Okay, so now I'm going to refresh here. If I try to delete this user, you will get fail. Okay, now I will come here. Now I'm click here. See, I got this error. Following resource got locked. So this is how you can protect your SQL Server from accidental deletes. Okay, so right now I'm just deleting this. Okay, this is how for that, for example, your company has recruited a junior. Okay, you need to provide access, but he cannot do anything. Okay, just for up to 1 month or like you want to provide read only permission for portal, then you can select the read only option and click OK for this. Okay, everybody like except some administrator, the persons cannot do anything in the until unless you remove the lock here. Now coming to backups. Okay, so whenever you create or deploy or configure any database, immediately it will trigger one full backup. From that time onwards, every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes, log backup will get triggered. For example, I am issuing some DML transactions. Unfortunately, the DML transaction doesn't work for me. What I need to do here, now they will ask you, Harsha, can you just restore the database to the 11:30 or 7 o'clock? Okay, so for that, when you just go to restore. Okay, and you can just select the time frame. You just select the time frame as of now and just create the restore, and it will create the database to this stage, and later on you can delete the main backup file and you can rename this file. So this is how this will not overwrite it, this will create new database. Okay, so later on you have to rename to the original database name. By default this is in UTC. Okay, so whenever you just start that, for example, the customer is asking 7 p.m. IST, but you are not here, you are selecting IST time zone. Now you need to convert that time, right? UTC to IST or IST to UST. Here I need to, what is 7 here? 7:30 means here 1 a.m. Okay, I need in the IST, right? See here, you need to select 1 a.m. So that's how you need to like select 1 a.m. here as per the time zone. Okay, then you need to click create here. So it will create a new database. After that, you can drop the original database and you can rename this to the original database name. This is what called point in time restore. This point in time restore will be available only using portal, not by SSMS. In the SSMS, we can do like everything, we can do the SSMS, right? Like stop at command will be there. Okay, but in the portal, it will be now that we will see in the retention policies here. Okay, like coming to retention policies, by default PTR will be available 7 days. Okay, for example, if you want to restore the database backup which is there back to 7 days, okay, more than 7 days, it is not possible. Up to 7 days only the data will be, point in time restore will be available. Differential backups will be taken for every 24 hours. Okay, but Microsoft has given option for us. Coming to what happened. See why my sorry, you need to select the database. Okay, so right now my PTR is differential backup is 24 hours, but I don't like that. I need to have for 12 hours. Previously it was 24 hours only, but right now it has given like we can change the differential backup for 12 hours. Okay, and now LTR backups. LTR backups means long term retention backups. How long you need to keep your long term backups here. Okay, your you weekly full backup, or how long it will be take. For example, it will take 1 week. Okay, so weekly it will take the full backup and it will be store up to 1 week. After 1 week it will automatically, it will get removed and the newly fresh full backup will be taken. Now you can configure like weekly, monthly. Okay, so yeah, it's all up to you the requirement. For example, every week like long term, because like every 1 month I have configured the every one I have configured like that. Okay, what will happen every end of the month, okay, it will take one full backup. Okay, that backup, for example, this assume that this is the end of the month. Okay, today is the end of the month. What it will do, it will take a fresh full backup. Okay, after that it will remove the 1 month last month full backup. Now it will, if you mention these two here, what it will do, your backup will be there up to 2 months. After 2 months it will get deleted. So this is what we used to call LTR backups. Okay, so you can remove the settings, and like this is how we can see the point in time restore, and how we LTR backups. Now deleted backups. Now in interview they might ask you how you are going to recover the data, deleted databases. Whatever databases that you deleted, okay, those databases will be visible here. But kindly remember that those databases has to be deleted by the portal only. For example, I will went to the SSMS and I have deleted this Azure database. Those databases will cannot be recovered. Okay, though the databases which are deleted using portal, those databases only can be recovered and can be visible here. Okay, and coming to failover groups, we will see this is indirectly we call it as a always on and with automatic failover. in the first overview pane we have imported the databases, right? So that to know the status and completion time, everything it will be visible here. Coming to networking part, here if you want to connect if you don't want to connect from the internet, then you can disable. For example, you have some subnets, you can enable this here, and you can add a virtual network here. We will see how in the service endpoint session. Perimeter, this is the new option. I need to explore that, I didn't see previously. Okay, and you can add firewalls. As of now, what happened, I have enabled for demo purpose, I have enabled total IPv4 32-bit address, which comes under 0.0.0 to 255.2. It means everyone who had a valid credentials can connect to this SQL server. And you are if you enable this option, it means everyone can connect to the SQL server if they have valid credentials from Azure resources. Now, Microsoft Defender for Cloud. It is means like antivirus for this thing. For example, we have a security account. This is not required. Okay, these things are handled by the security team. Okay, they will enable that. Okay, for not this one is not required. If you enable that, it will list you that okay, this you are having these many SQL admins, but they don't have logged in from last 30 days. Kindly disable that. So why? Because when there is a no access from very long time to the SQL server from whatever the logins you had, it will list us. Okay, these database, these logins are not yet login, please disable that. So this kind of warnings they will give that. Okay, coming to TDE. TDE stands for transparent database encryption. We will have separate class and we will see what it will do. Whatever the backups you had, anybody cannot be restored without service managed key. If they have for example, I am working in a data center, let's assume that. So I had access physically to your the applications where your SQL server is hosted. So what I will do, I just copy your database files and I will come to my home and I can restore it, right? But when you enable this transparent database encryption option, nobody will do the ends except who are having these keys as well. These keys are stored in the Azure Key Vault, which is very secure. Coming to identity, system identity is like giving one name. Okay, where those names will have only tokens, not like passwords. Okay, for example, when I type here, you have seen my username and password and everything, right? You can connect directly to SQL server. But when I do and copy paste of the token, nobody knows. One is the token is valid for only for one for that session only. Once that session expired, everything will again you need to generate the fresh tokens. Coming to auditing, we will see how we need to enable auditing. Automatic tuning, we have three main options. One is force plan, create plan, and index. So by default it is in like inheritance, means whatever the settings you have enabled, that will all apply to the data to the all the databases. What is mean by creating index? For example, every user is connecting to the database, right? And they are doing some queries to get the data. So what are the data and characters that is coming into the SQL server? Up to 90 days it will carefully observe, and it will create for if any missing indexes is identified for by the SQL server engine, then it will create those indexes. Here you will get one interview question. What is that interview question is this the SQL server engine will drop the index what human has created. That in my you will get in the interview. Here the answer is when you enable this option, it will drop the indexes only, it will create it by itself only, it will not delete the indexes which are created by us. Okay, and force plan. For example, you have changed whenever the SQL Server query is run, and it will identify with plan IDs. First plan ID will is having 10 seconds, at second plan is having 30 seconds. Now what you will do, it will force to the first plan ID. So this is what force plan is. Okay, just we need to enable that. Okay, recommendations. So what are the actions? Microsoft has given some recommendations. Harsha, you have these recommendations. You like have a look into whether this really impacting your situation, then you can go with the recommended. So it will give the list. Okay, here coming to logs, sometimes what will happen, right? So sometimes even though you are database administrator, okay, like some third party integrated options will be there. Okay, so whenever you enable the log analytics, they will integrate here. Look, so you can see all the events which are occurring on this database, like using this portal. Okay, coming to task preview, this is from very long time. It is been there in preview. Like it will schedule task, but only it will schedule on the pay bill. For example, click here, send cost. Okay, it means every month it will send one email. Okay, for this research you have you need to pay this much of billing. If you configure this again, for this you see, this task is billable. Everything will be billable in Microsoft. So not required. If you go to the subscription, we will get that kind of info. For example, if you want to deploy this kind of templates to multiple SQL servers, everything I have configured, network I have configured and everything, then you can take this explode template and you can deploy by changing the name itself. But you are changing the name, but every what are the options that we have configured in this, the same options it will get for that SQL server as well. For example, you are having issues like on the SQL server, just for every resource it will be same support. And previously I showed you, right, how to raise a ticket to Microsoft. The same thing here. Right now whatever we discussed here is like everything will be up to some extent it will be same for SQL server database as well. We will see here now itself only. Now come to Azure SQL database. Here, now I am going to database. Now overview is same, activity log is same, tags are same, like diagnostic sum. Now query editor. Now we can connect and we can query the databases using SSMS, using our own applications, like whatever, right? Now you can do the same thing using portal as well. Now come here. See, now I'm able to connect to this database. As of now, it is just like this option. Okay, now we need to mention the database name, right? So the same option will be usable here is here. Okay, but this cannot be guaranteed. Why? Because it is in preview mode. So for example, when I do the query here, I'm having 10,000 rows, but it will list only 10 up to 5. There are some certain limits are there. Only to some extent we can use that, but we cannot see showing limited object here. For full capacity, please click here to open Azure Data Studio. So we have some limited functionality here. Okay, so but at the end of the day they are recommended Azure Data Studio and SSMS only. Okay, now compute and storage. I don't know, like what is your this storage, how much storage it has been there, what is the DTU, how to we can change, how we can refresh the database. For example, everything will be visible here. Okay, so for example, now what they will do, Arsha, I want to upgrade this database. Okay, to some extent, like standard, you can change here and you can increase how much details that you want, and you can mention the redundancy, click apply. All connections will get terminated for fraction of seconds and it will get reconnect automatically. So there will be minimum downtime, minimum for in fraction of seconds only we have minimum downtime. We will see this option later. Okay, connection string. For example, you have having database, but you are using ODBC application. Now what you need to do, you need to copy and you need to change the password here. Have to send an email. This is the how the connection things looks like for ODBC. And okay, so what authentication wise also, if for example your ODBC application using SQL authentication, you have to use this connection string. If you want to use entry Azure Active Directory authentication, you want to use, see, based on your requirement, select and you need to send an email to the application team. Properties save, logs are saved, replicas. This is geo replication, means consider are always on without automatic failover. Sync to other database comes under data sync. We have separate class. For that we will see. Now these integrations and power platforms are third party, and third party means not related for the DBA, even though it is same, but it is not related for the DBA. So what it will do, directly they are linking Azure Synapse Analytics so that it will, we can monitor. Okay, see, this database is not available for Synapse Analytics. To Synapse Analytics it should be like a database pool, or it should be like standard. Okay, coming to auditing is also same. We will see ledger we have separate class. What is mean by ledger? Security we will talk in detail. Data discovery we have separate class. Dynamic data masking, everything we will see. And what are the commons? Performance overview. So here, if you are like you are see, they will ask you what are the top two queries, CPU consume queries, and you can list here. Okay, by queries and everything, it will last for last 24 hours. You will get this kind of see here, you will, what are the receipts. If you go to data IO, you can see, you can get all the IOs here. Long running queries, it will get customized. Okay, you can customize here. If you want to check the last 6 hours, what are the queries that just go here. So it will list all the here. This kind of you will get this in the performance overview. The recommendation also you will get some kind of issues, but I don't see any issues in that. The same thing, what everything intelligence are like same thing here only. Okay, automatic is same. Alerts, for example, okay, you have configured automatic auto failover groups. Whenever you database got failover, okay, you can create alert here. We will see these alerts as well in later sessions. Okay, coming to metrics. Okay, here you can currently is there any blockings? If you want to see, you can see the block here. We have metrics. So okay, so now you have to go what is the DTU limit etc. Like it is like a troubleshoot, just like the reports what we see in our on-prem instance. Diagnostic settings, yeah, this thing I need to talk. Whenever we enable auditing, only few settings will be get tracked. Okay, on that event, like select, delete, drop, truncate. But apart from this, okay, if you want to track these diagnostic settings as well, for example, your application is getting timed outs and you are facing some deadlocks, those kind of events cannot be tracked in the auditing. If you want to track that events as well, then you need to add diagnostics and select the logs, all the log, whatever the events, for example, I want to track only timeouts. Uncheck all these and select the timeouts option. Okay, and you will just click save. Okay, come here, like basic or instance, advanced workload management, and where I need to send storage account. Now click save here. As of now I don't have storage account diagnostics name or anything, right? Okay, now click save. Now all the events whatever you selected will get recorded in the auditing log as well. This is the advantage of like diagnostics. So what is the why means, like if each and everything get recorded by the this thing auditing purpose, then your storage account will get increased. So for SQL server you are paying 405 rupees, for storage you are paying 5000 rupees. So that's bit look wide, right? So that's the reason. So they have option and done like this. So the log same, if you have enabled log analytics, those insights are visible directly here. Task is preview same and export is also same. Like for example, if your database is having any issues like connectivity issues, what you need to do first thing, either my database is available or not. For example, if you having any issues in data centers, you don't know, right? So if you see here, it will visible here. Like if you see from this long date from 15, 16, 17, it is the database is having issues available only. I don't see any issues. Some if you have any issues, it will say not available, having read only. You will see this kind of issues as well. Now here we will see the troubleshooting, and if for example the same thing, whatever resource you click, the last option will be support and troubleshooting only. Okay. uh, Tomorrow we are going to see what are the limitations that we are having. Okay. In the and how we can see how we need to create elastic pool, what are the formulas we are having. For that we can see the connectivity issues, like that, how what are the service endpoint, what is that like private endpoint. So if time permits we will see, otherwise we can keep on postponing, uh, for tomorrow. Right now I'm stopping the recording. Yeah, okay.